Nuclear weapons are perhaps the most destructive invention in human history, born out of scientific curiosity. Fundamental research in the field of nuclear physics in the 1930s opened up the possibilities of harnessing atomic energy. In particular, the discovery of uranium fission by renowned scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann showed that this process releases vast amounts of energy. This immediately attracted the attention of the scientific community. It became clear if one could learn to control the chain reaction of nucleus division, this colossal energy could be used as a power source or even a weapon of devastating might. And just a few years later, this scientific idea transformed into a concrete military project. One of the leading physicists exploring the practical applications of atomic energy was Robert Oppenheimer, an American scientist of German descent. This brilliant theorist and experimenter worked on improving particle accelerators even before the war. And back in 1942, he was appointed the scientific director of the top-secret Manhattan Project to develop an atomic bomb. Oppenheimer headed a team of talented physicists, chemists, and engineers working to achieve this ambitious goal amidst wartime. Oppenheimer aptly recruited personnel, streamlined the project's structure, coordinated research and testing. Thanks in large part to his organizational flair, the first atomic bomb was created just 3 years later. The idea of using atomic nucleus energy for military purposes was first voiced in the 1930s scientific circles. Namely, it was articulated by renowned English physicist John Cockcroft in an article about the possibility of creating a super bomb based on a nuclear explosion. However, this idea could not be implemented in practice due to a lack of funding and support from the military and politicians. Everything changed with the start of World War II. Such an ambitious project suddenly gained strategic significance. From the U.S. government and the engagement of leading scientists made it possible to unfold full-scale research and achieve success in developing complex technologies for uranium enrichment, as well as methods for initiating a chain nuclear reaction. On July 16, 1945 at 5:29 a.m. in the New Mexico desert at the Alamogordo test site, the most powerful explosion in human history thundered. The first atomic device codenamed Gadget was successfully tested. At the epicenter, the temperature reached tens of millions of degrees Celsius, forming a fiery pillar of light brighter than the sun. The shock wave was so powerful that it was felt hundreds of kilometers away. This extremely complex, large-scale scientific and engineering project to create nuclear weapons was led by talented physicist Robert Oppenheimer. Thousands of prominent scientists and engineers worked under his leadership as part of the Manhattan Project. And their efforts were crowned with unprecedentedly destructive successful results. Although Oppenheimer himself repeatedly expressed regret over the devastating consequences of the military use of his creation, events unfolded inexorably. Weeks after the successful testing of the first atomic bomb, on August 6, 1945, an American bomber dropped a nuclear device on the city of Hiroshima. The blast yield was about 13 kilotons in TNT equivalent. Despite numerous civilian casualties, the Japanese command did not rush to surrender. And on August 9th, a second atomic bomb was dropped on the city of Nagasaki. Its power reached 18 kilotons of TNT. These terrible nuclear strikes essentially turned the tide of war in the Pacific. The creation of nuclear weapons under the guidance of Robert Oppenheimer and his team has undoubtedly been the most significant scientific and technological achievement of the 20th century. After all, it forever changed the global balance of power and set new rules for the geopolitical game. Thanks to the development of atomic bombs, the United States gained almost indisputable military dominance, and although the nuclear club countries later achieved some deterrent balance, the nuclear threat has not disappeared anywhere. However we feel about Oppenheimer and his controversial deeds, his significant contribution to creating the first atomic bomb was a scientific and technological breakthrough, the importance of which can hardly be overestimated.